Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast and Chill. I'm Leo.
And I'm Gwen, here to help you boost your English.
You know what, Gwen? Sometimes I just want to be a total couch potato and do absolutely nothing.
I hear you. We all need a break sometimes.
So do our listeners. But they told me they didn't want to get rusty with their English.
Don't worry. There are tons of ways to improve without even trying too hard.
That sounds too good to be true.
Well, learning English doesn't have to feel like a chore.
Wow, I'm all ears.
Today, we're going to uncover some seriously lazy hacks for learning English.
Cool. I bet our listeners can't wait anymore.
Let's get started.
So, what's your first lazy hack?
Let's start with my favorite, watching movies and shows.
Seriously? So we can Netflix, have fun, and learn at the same time?
Yep,
But what if I don't understand what the actors are saying?
that's why you turn on the subtitles.
Fair enough. But how does that actually help me learn?
Well, a study by Webb and Rogers found that watching TV with subtitles is great for picking up new vocabulary naturally.
How come?
Because you see and hear the words at the same time, you also see them written down, so they stick in your brain faster.
That's spot on.
You also see the words written on the screen, which helps you learn them faster because you see them again and again.
I get it. So, what's a good show to start with?
Friends is a classic for casual phrases and beginners.
I love Friends.
If you like quirky humor, shows like The Office are great for learning sarcasm and slang,
That's a classic. It's like killing two birds with one stone.
right? You get entertained and learn without even realizing it.
However, not everyone's a movie buff like you, Gwen. Some people are more into social media.
That's perfect. There's actually research by Greenhow and Lewin showing that social media can help with informal learning and keep people interested.
Really? How does that work?
Simple. Follow English-speaking influencers, meme pages, or YouTube channels. They're great resources.
What kind of stuff can we learn from those?
Tons. Slang, everyday phrases, and even little cultural quirks.
Honestly, that sounds way more fun and useful than textbook English.
Exactly. But just a heads up, not everything you see online is accurate. Stick to reliable accounts for learning.
Good point, Gwen.
Oh, and don't skip the comment sections.
They really pull me into the content and help me brush up on the language.
I know, right? If you're already scrolling, you might as well make it count.
Some listeners might not want to either watch movies or scroll on social media.
If so, they can sneak English into their daily routine. It's super simple and works like a charm.
Oh yeah? Like what?
For starters, you can change your phone's language to English.
That sounds like such a hassle, though.
Not really. If you see those words every day, your brain starts thinking in English without you even realizing it.
Oh, I get it. Like if I see password every day, it'll stick eventually.
Exactly. And it's not just your phone. You can jot down your shopping lists in English or stick reminders around the house in English.
I like that idea. Except, I might be too busy to write sticky notes everywhere
Why so busy?
because I'm probably doing something else, duh.
You know you can still learn English while doing something else, right?
Oh, you mean multitasking?
Kind of, but more like passive listening. There's this study by Vandergrift that says listening comprehension improves when you're exposed to real-life audio materials.
What can you even learn from just listening?
A lot. Things like intonation, stress patterns, and everyday phrases.
Makes sense. So I could play a podcast while cooking?
Yep. Podcasts are my favorite, but audiobooks work too.
All right, Gwen, let's break down some key vocabulary we've talked about today. First, kill two birds with one stone. It means to accomplish two things with a single effort. For example, by biking to work, I kill two birds with one stone. I get exercise and save money on gas.
Second, pull somebody into something. It means to attract or draw people into something. For example, they pulled me into their argument even though I had nothing to do with it.
Third, brush up on something. It means to improve or refresh your knowledge or skill in something. For example, I need to brush up on my Spanish before my trip to Mexico.
Fourth, make something count. It means to make the most of an opportunity or situation. For example, we only have one chance to pitch our idea, so let's make it count.
Finally, jot down. It means to quickly write something down. For example, let me jot down your phone number so I don't forget it.
Now let's discuss 2 questions about our topic.
What is the first one?
How do you think watching movies and shows with subtitles can help improve your English?
It helps by showing and saying the words at the same time, making it easier to remember new vocabulary.
That's a great point. The second question is, if someone isn't into movies, what's another way they can practice English every day?
They could change their phone's language to English or use sticky notes around the house to see English words regularly.
Excellent idea. What about you, listeners?
Share your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of favorites, I just came up with another lazy way to learn English.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Playing games.
I'm not really a gamer, but I've heard people say you can learn English through games. Is that true?
Indeed, games are packed with dialogue and text, so you're always coming across new vocabulary.
That makes sense. You have to keep up with the storyline to play, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about the words, you're always solving problems or following instructions in English, which keeps your brain engaged.
So if I want to crush the game, I've got to nail the language first.
That's the spirit. Games like The Sims are spot on. It is super easy and fun to play.
That sounds great. But isn't it a computer game? What if I don't have a computer?
No problem. Mobile games are awesome too. Just make sure they're in English. Try puzzles or escape room games. They're great for learning new vocabulary.
Cool. Hopefully I can actually finish a game for once.
As long as you're not wasting time scrolling through memes and TikTok, you'll be fine.
Hey, don't you know memes and TikTok videos are great for learning English too?
Seriously? How's that even possible?
Memes break down complex ideas into short, funny phrases.
Oh, I get it. They show how native speakers actually talk, slang, idioms, even sarcasm.
Plus, TikTok videos and Instagram reels are great for that too.
How do those quick videos help though?
Just like watching movies, they give you rich, meaningful context, which is super important for learning a language.
Oh, that's like Krashen's input hypothesis, right?
Yep, you got it. But the key is to actually engage with what you're watching.
What do you mean by engage?
Don't just scroll mindlessly. Pay attention to new words and try to figure out their meaning from the context.
Ah, I see what you mean.
And if you find something funny, share it with a friend.
Good idea. Explaining the joke in English is definitely a fun way to practice.
And one last tip before we wrap up today's podcast.
Oh, what's that?
Shadowing your favorite English lines.
Shadowing? What's that?
It's super simple. Just pick a movie, TV show, or even a YouTube video you like and repeat the lines the characters say.
So, we're basically copying them?
Exactly. It's a great way to improve your pronunciation and fluency.
Sounds like an easy way to sound more like a native speaker.
Totally. It's like singing along to a song in another language. Just relax, watch your show, and speak along.
I'll keep that in mind next time I'm watching something.
Just remember to start with short and simple lines at first.
Got it. Hey Gwen, let's work through some more phrases today. First, come up with. It means to think of or create an idea, solution, or plan. For example, we need to come up with a strategy for the project.
Second, come across. It means to find or encounter something by chance. For example, I came across an interesting article yesterday.
Third, keep up with. It means to stay updated or maintain the same level as someone or something. For example, it's hard to keep up with all the latest trends in technology.
Fourth, spot on. It means exactly correct or accurate. For example, your answer was spot on. It's exactly what I was thinking.
Finally, break down something into something. It means to divide something complex into smaller, simpler parts. For example, let's break down the project into smaller tasks to make it easier to manage. All right, Gwen, here's a question for you.
Sure, hit me with it.
How can playing video games help improve your English?
Games are packed with dialogue, text, and instructions, so you pick up new vocabulary while you play.
Great point. Now, the second question is, what are some other ways to learn English if you're not into gaming?
You can check out TikTok videos, memes, or Instagram reels in English. They're full of slang, idioms, and everyday language.
What about you, listeners?
Drop your answers in the comments below. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode,
Remember, guys, learning English doesn't have to feel like a chore.
right? No need to pull your hair out over grammar rules. Just pick up the language naturally by using it in fun ways.
And don't forget that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
If you love movies, watch them with subtitles. If memes are more your thing, scroll away.
What are your favorite lazy tips?
Share with us in the comment section below.
Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Leo.
And I'm Gwen.
This is Podcast and Chill. Catch you in the next episode.